Received our products in the mail. The first thing you're going to want to do is open the box, inspect the product, make sure there was no damage during shipping. So for us, we've already done that. So just check it for cracking, any possible damage that might have happened, and as you can see, these are good. So depending on the product that you got, there's a product that has a 4 AA batteries. You're going to want to test that, so you're going to need 4 AA batteries. Install it in the box, and there's a little black switch here. You're going to want to turn them on. As you can see, this is a Mango 392. A friend of mine, Chris, lent this to me for the video. They work well. If you watch them, they'll change colors. You can actually have them go to one specific color like myself. I ordered just red, but I chose to go hardwire. Now when you're hardwiring it, depending on, do you want them to turn on when you open the door, or do you want to actually flick a switch? For myself, I want to have mine illuminate whenever I open the door. So in order for me to do that, I needed a wiring diagram for my vehicle. Lucky enough, I'm a mechanic and I was able to get this at work. So what you're going to want to do is test these here. You need a 12-volt battery. Now, I have one here from an alarm system. It's 12 volts. You want to make sure you have a 12-volt battery, because if you don't have enough voltage or amperage, you'll notice it just flickers in one corner and you'll think your product is broken. So for myself, here we go. We're going to test mine. And you're going to see that mine just light up red. A little bit different style, but again, I just wanted the one color. I thought multicolor for myself was too busy. So as you can see, the product works well. So once you've tested the product and you know it works well, then you're going to want to bring the vehicle inside and get it ready to do the install. So we're going to go get our vehicle. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll show you what we need to do to start prepping for installation. Okay, so now that we've got the car inside, the first thing you're going to want to do is right here you've got a kick plate here, so you're going to want to remove that kick plate. Now mine here, if you look, just come up easily. They just pop out. Pretty simple. Just a bunch of clips here. You're going to want to take this and just move it aside. Now you're going to also want to move the rubber. If you look here, so what I'm going to do is just lift my rubber. You don't have to take it right off, but they just clip on. You're going to just lift that up there like that. So now mine, because they're hardwired, you're going to want to, if you just lay the wire over top of here, you're going to see that every time you step here, you may actually cut the wire, short out the light, maybe even cause something else wrong with the car. So for me, I'm going to actually drill a little hole in here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to take the door sill plate and kind of hold it roughly where you're going to want to put it. So for myself, I'm going to drill a hole through here. So as you can see, I kind of need it somewhere in that area. So now that I've got the location picked, I've got my drill. Okay, so now that we've drilled a hole here for the wire, we're going to want to clean this mess up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to spray this area with some brake clean. And that's to take any dirt, grime, grease, or anything on there, so this way the product sticks well. So we fed the wire through there. Just this way, like I said, it's just a safety precaution. This way nothing will happen whenever we get everything all wired up. I'm going to remove the 3M tape. So again, make sure you've got it centered to where you want it. So once you have it down, it's going to stick pretty good. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to remove this plate right here to get to the wires that up under the dash. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. As you can see, it comes out pretty easy. There's just little clips here. It just fastens in very simple. Now once we got that side panel off, we're going to want to disconnect the battery just to make sure that we don't short something out like the airbags or anything else while we're playing with the wire. So here we go. We're just going to disconnect this like this. Always disconnect the live. There we go. Just put it off to the side like this, so this way it can't accidentally go back and make contact. Now we're going to go back to the wiring and figure out which wire we need to hook up to the door sill plates. So after locating the power source for my door sills, I've decided I'm just going to go from the dome light, which would be pretty simple. This is a convertible, so I just have to pop the trim up here, and then I'll just feed the wire down through here and down in through here. So you always want to make sure you use pretty close to the same gauge wire. This way everything will work properly and you don't have any issues down the road. So right now I'm just going to feed the wire down through here. Gonna leave enough here so that if I need to cut it or so I'm just feeding it up through the top sill. Like I said, on the convertible it's pretty simple. It'll be hidden pretty easily. The top sill actually pops out pretty easy. So I'm just placing the wire again, like I said, down through here. Just going to pop that back in right there because I no longer need it out. Again for here and here. Now that I got the wire as far as the door rubber, I'm going to actually just peel back the rubber and kind of just go down through here, and then this way the wire won't be exposed. So we're going to just feed it down through here like this. Again, as you can see, the wire is not exposed, so it's kind of hidden, and this is going to be our power wire. Now that we've got the wire down through here, we've got the door rubber still off. We want to give ourselves probably about an extra foot, so we're going to cut the wire right here and get it prepped for the power wire for the door sill plates. Now keep in mind there is a power in the ground. We're going to run a ground later on down through here. We're going to drill a small hole, and then the ground will be very close to the source. After we cut our wire, we have to attach it to the positive side on this one. Now if you remember, you actually got a small little harness to attach to this one whenever you got your kit. So we're going to actually use this, and we're going to fasten it to our new wire run. So we're going to actually solder it. Now this one here, you can shorten it. I'm going to shorten mine. It's a little bit too long. Now keep in mind, like I said, you can use little butt connectors, but for me, I'm going to solder mine on. I think it does a better job. Now this was the closest gauge that I had. It's pretty close. I also have a little piece of heat shrink here. If you look, the stuff that I have, actually whenever you melt it, there's a bit of glue that's inside it, so it kind of seals it from the weather as well. It's better to have that. This way, depending on what part of the country you live in, here we've got salt and stuff. Even though this vehicle doesn't see the winter, but some of yours may. I didn't strip enough off here. Make sure you give yourself enough wire, because you want to twist them together properly so it makes a better contact. Alright, we're going to fire up our soldering gun. See that there? That's pretty good solder. I'm going to use this gun also. This one here is the heat shrink. Should have given myself a little bit more, but it's pretty good there too. So there, now we've got the positive side on. So we're ready for the ground wire. What we're going to do is we have these little blue eyelets. We don't have to really run it very far. We're just going to put it somewhere about here. So what you want to do is, for me, I'm just going to crimp this onto the end here. Didn't take much to solder it on. As you can see, you pull on it, it's got a pretty good connection. Now what I'm going to do is, I have a small piece of heat shrink that I'm going to kind of try and slip over there. Alright, so there we go. There's our ground. There's our wire all hooked up. What we're going to do is we're going to tuck this all in. I'm going to set this just back up here for now. I'm going to set this all back in here. We're going to get ready to do a test on our light. The only thing I have left to do is just hook up the wire up top. make it easier, I'm just going to tie this one into here, and then this way I can splice two off this other one. I'm going to electrical tape it so this way there's no shorts. Can't put heat shrink on this one because it's attached at both ends here. Can't slip one on, so I'll just tighten this up a little tight. Now the reason why I did this is because I'm going to actually do one on the passenger side, and then this way I could just put them like this and put the heat shrink over them, and then this way it'll seal at both ends. But what we can do is we can attach this side here. We'll leave it out in the open here, and then we'll test our unit to make sure that it works before we go any further, before we do the other side. Just going to plug our light back in just so this way we have a test to know that our light is actually working as well. Just going to leave it dangle like that for a second. Alright, so here we go. We're going to open the door. We're going to test it and see what it looks like. So now they come on and off whenever you open and close the door because they're activated by the door switch. Pretty simple.